Hello, this is Preston Sandlin. We're going to talk about aerating and seeding. And it's September. The summer has taken its toll on Fescue. This is my lawn here. Had a really hot summer, and you see where clover is coming here, and we got a lot of Bermuda grass here. It's just kind of taking over the Fescue because Fescue had such a hard time because it was so hot this summer. So this is the first step. We have a yard of Fescue, but it took a beating, and there's a lot of chickweed and Bermuda, if you zoom in there. But what we're going to do, this is what we're going to do. We're going to spray Roundup on the areas that have chickweed and Bermuda, and it's going to kill that. We're going to mow the entire lawn down as low as we possibly can. Then we're going to aerate and seed. And the reason to mow it so low is that we want to get as low down to the soil as we can, so when we punch those holes and we aerate, the seeds, more seeds make contact. We want them to get into the holes and whatnot. So the first step is to kill any area that's predominantly weeds, and then we're going to aerate and seed. Mow as low as you can, and preferably bag it or thatch it or rake it. So the idea is to expose those holes as well as you can, so when you spread that seed, that more of them will actually make contact with the soil and land in the holes. All right, this is Preston Sound. This is the first.
Hi, today we're going to aerate. Let me show you before we get started. This is an aerator. Get you to come down here. Look. What this aerator does is it has these punctures, and they're basically like sharp pipes, and they go round and round and round. And what they do is punch holes into your lawn, and then pull up hunks of back out. It looks like this. Now it serves two purposes. It loosens up the soil, and it also creates holes for seeds to fall down into and fertilize. So this, after we mow the grass real low, we're going to aerate. Now let me show you. We got to get weight on this to make it work. This big wheel up here in front, this is full of water. That's what weighs it down. There's also a weight right here. So I'm going to aerate. I want you to watch me here for a second. Pay particular attention to the time. Right down here. That's how this works. Follow. Now notice how it's punching holes in the ground, and those holes are going to be there for seeds to fall into and fertilize. But anyway, we're going to aerate the whole lawn. The other thing we're going to do is the areas where the weeds have taken over, we're going to aerate a lot there. And I'm actually going to spray Roundup to kill that. So I'm going to kill that whole section of lawn. So I'm going to aerate a lot extra there so more seeds fall down. All right, we'll be ready for the next step. Thanks.
Okay, the next part before I seed, I am going to, what I'm going to do, you could use Roundup. I'm using a sort of a knockoff here. I'm actually going to spray. It's been a hot summer and weeds have just totally taken over parts of my yard. So I'm actually going to kill the entire section where there's more weeds than grass. They do make some stuff that's like Weed Be Gone, crabgrass killer that you might be able to use instead of this. But I have also Bermuda grass creeping in, which I don't think that'll kill. So I'm actually going to have to kill off sections of my lawn, but I really aerated hard in those areas, and I'm going to put extra seed. But I'm going to spray this and give it a little while to dry, and then I'm going to come back and overseed into where I've aerated. Okay, what I'm doing now is, I don't know if you can see this that well, but I've got good grass over here, but I've had a whole bunch of junk move in over the summer. You got crabgrass, chickweed, a little bit of Bermuda grass. So I have the Roundup here, and I'm not going to kill, like out there I have predominantly pretty good grass. But I am going to spray this area where it's actually the chickweed and Bermuda and all that junk is just taking over. So I'm actually going to spray and kill off this part of my lawn. I'm going to have to take extra care to make sure I get a lot of seed. And I've aerated here, and there's holes all throughout it. But I got to get a lot of seed in there, because if I don't, this is just going to be a dirt spot in my yard, you know, a month from now. But I am killing off areas that have it. My rule of thumb has always been, if it's more than half junk, you need to kill the whole thing. But if you can just get in there and spot kill the junk, do that, because you know, if you've got a really good stand of grass, you do want to salvage that. All right. Okay, I'm getting ready to put the fertilizer down, then I'm going to put seed. Doesn't have to be in that order. You can do seed, fertilizer. Make sure that weed killer, grass killer that we put down has dried. But the thing about the fertilizer that you're going to use what's called a starter fertilizer. And the reason it's starter, what designates, you got three numbers here: nitrogen, potassium, phosphate. And potassium, I think, is really good for root growth. So this time of year, when you seed, or even in fall, you want a high nitrogen, potassium, phosphate, potassium. Nitrogen is what makes your, really green and grow and stuff, and everybody always wants a high nitrogen number, which that's a whole nother video. But for when seeding lawn, you want a high second number, which would be lawn starter fertilizer. And read the directions. This particular covered 14,000 square feet, and you just got to go back to geometry, size of your lawn, subtract out your house or your lot and your beds, and figure out the square footage of your house. All right, we're on the final step here. I have filled the spreader with seed. I'm getting ready to overseed. I have step by step. We mowed the grass down really low. We aerated. We killed the areas that were mostly weeds, and then we spread starter fertilizer, and now we're going to overseed. And also we're going to put lime down, but I'm not going to film that, to sweeten the soil. But this is for fescue. Make sure you don't get rye. I'm just using a Kentucky 31 here. A lot of people like to use Rebels or transitional blend that, they basically have a couple of different types of fescue that do well, drought resistant and summer shade. There's all different types of fescue. You may want to read about that. If you have a lot of shade, there's a certain type. But you don't want ryegrass, and you obviously don't want any Bermuda or anything like that. That's what we're trying to get rid of in this particular yard. But anyway, getting ready to seed. Well, this is the final product. It's going to look a lot better in about 2 weeks. But basically, we have aerated and seeded the lawn. We've sprayed all the crabgrass and Bermuda and stuff. This is fescue. We want fescue. We don't want that. And we have spread seed. We have spread starter fertilizer and lime. And what's going to happen is those areas that are predominantly Bermuda and stuff will die, and there'll be some yellow patches throughout the yard. But it's going to get worse before it gets better. But then we'll get that nice, pretty fescue in a couple of weeks. Now you don't want to mow it for about 2 or 3 weeks, because you want that stuff to gain root. So it will get a little bit tall, because you just put some fertilizer down, and that aeration, man, it put it right down to the root. But your lawn is really going to look good, and it's going to have those nice, pretty patterns in it when you mow and you get the stripes. That's something that's really unique to fescue. One thing I did want to mention, if you're aerating seed in your lawn and you have an area that's predominantly just a dirt patch and you've got a lot of seed there, you may want to put straw over that to keep the moisture down on the seed. It's kind of like the napkin on the seed thing when you were in school. But that's pretty much it. One last time, mow your lawn down as low as you possibly can. Rake it or thatch it if you can, because what you want to do is expose as much soil in those holes. You want to spray any weeds or stuff, kill that. Then you want to come back with seed and starter fertilizer and lime in those holes. Any bare dirt spots, cover those with straw, and then water. Should take about 2 weeks, you'll start seeing it. This is Preston Sandlin. Hope that helps. Thanks.